Update 2. My mother-in-law is furious that we won't tell her I'm pregnant, even though she only dreamt about my pregnancy. I'm 38 weeks pregnant and my mother-in-law just won't stop. My husband's sister has been trying to help me and telling me that the whole family is here for us, but it just doesn't seem like it. I'll give you some examples of what mother-in-law has done. I scheduled an induction for 39 weeks because my baby will kick or sit on my womanhood nerve, causing me to pass out without warning several times. They also like to sit on my CRPS nerves, causing my leg to either go limp, numb, or feel like it's being ripped apart by a lion. I told mother-in-law the date and she started questioning me and making me feel guilty for doing an induction. When I try to involve her in stuff, it has to be her way. Not what's most helpful for me or my husband. I said I needed help meal prepping after Costco. She said she could only help by helping me make the grocery list for Costco. Mother-in-law has demanded a list of things to help me after my husband goes back to work. I've said I'll try, but I have no brain cells and she acts like I'm pushing her out. Like if she was actually going to be helpful and do as asked I would, but good lord. She talked to my husband and I separately and together multiple times after being told no, about how we need to rehome our dog because he was a stray and is still being trained. The dog is fine, he doesn't hurt anyone, and I've had dogs around babies and kids and grew up with several and trained them. Any kind of opinion she has must be followed with, well, that's just my opinion and I made it known, so I won't say it again. Then we'll tell you it again the next 3 times you see her. She says I start things my husband is just defending me, setting a boundary for me, or saying no for me. This list is just stuff she's done in the past 2 months. I'm just fully done with her. She doesn't listen to my husband and I'm just trying to not start fights. Edit, I had the baby and we are home. Safe and sound. He was born by a C-section Saturday and had to stay in the ICU for a few days. It was all very painful and traumatic for me. The baby came out gray and was touch and go all night and I could only have my husband go and video call from the ICU to see him. Mother-in-law didn't visit at all in the hospital. Which I thought was odd, but I attributed it to no one except my husband and I could see the baby. I kept asking when his mom should come over to see the baby since we were going home, and husband said he'd figure it out or he's thinking about it. I told him I was going to just text his mom to come over and he said don't. Like very sternly. Last night I got it out of him. Turns out, she had taken my husband out to breakfast the morning after I got myself ready to see the baby for the first time. While at breakfast they were talking about how the baby was doing and when she would meet the baby and such. Mother-in-law has decided she isn't going to meet the baby without father-in-law, who she is divorced from and is a PTSD trigger for me. Father-in-law has been banned from being around the baby until I am comfortable being around him. My husband put his foot down hard. He also didn't want to tell me as I have already been so emotionally out of whack and he didn't want to make it worse. So now we're having other family members meet him and she isn't. She's dying on this hill, y'all.